Hey, Russell, welcome back. I want to chat with you a little bit more in regards to, I have a story of a 90-year-old man that's got a triplex down in Auburn that doesn't want to sell it because he just flat out tells me he's stubborn and says, I do not want to pay a dime in taxes to the government. But he also tells me at the same time, I don't want to deal with tenants anymore. So he promised me he'll give me a call when he's ready to sell and I'll buy his building from him. But he just wants, he even said, I'll even have my son take care of the taxes because I just don't want to even deal with paying the taxes right now. What are options that we have for somebody in that boat?
Yeah, super common scenario, right? Where somebody of retirement age is thinking about their heirs, and they're not really thinking about their personal situation from a standpoint of acting on it, right? Because the first priority for anybody's financial plan, the first priority is your quality of life, right? Not your heirs are secondary. So yours first. So in this case, if you have a 90-year-old man who's just he's at the sunset of his life, he's wanting to enjoy life, but he's having to deal with tenants and the headaches of California landlord law, right? It's terrible. He can sell the property and do a 1031 exchange into something we talked about previously, and that's like the DST, and go 100% passive, never deal with a tenant again, and just receive passive cash flow every month and not have to worry about the headaches of even paying taxes. Whether the kids inherit this existing property because he doesn't sell it, or whether the kids inherit whatever his replacement property is from the exchange, like a DST, the net effect is the same. They still get the step up in basis. They still don't have to pay taxes to the heirs. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and change, his life first and better his life. 1031 is a very powerful estate planning tool in that way.
I love that. I love that because that would just give him, like you said, the peace of mind. He can go on. If he wants to leave it for his son then when his father eventually passes away, then he doesn't have to immediately deal with a bunch of tenants that he might not want. So now he's got into a DST. It's a lease. He might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 years left, and then he'll be able to receive that income. And it just seems like to me a smart
Yeah.
thing to do when you get to that certain age. So
Another example of that would be from an estate planning tool with a 1031 is, let's say somebody's the same age, 90, but they have 3 children, and maybe they own one very expensive piece of real estate and they're planning their estate. Well, if you're planning your estate, if you own one asset and you're trying to figure out how to get that to 3 kids, when they inherit one property, they're going to fight. It's just the way it is, right? So instead of fighting, dad can reposition his assets now, sell the one very expensive property, go out to 3 different states where all the kids now live, right? And buy 3 separate properties, one near each child, pays each child to manage the properties for him, sets each one up in a revocable living trust. So when the inevitable happens, each child gets their property that they've been managing. They get to step up in basis. They can sell it if they want. They can keep it if they want. They don't have to ask permission of the other siblings.
love it. I love that. That's another whole video. So Russell, we'll get to that one. So thank you guys for joining that. Keep coming. We're going to come back and we're going to talk another subject. Thanks, Russell.
Thanks, Eric.